The Dead and the Damned by MadJack is a scenario/short story submitted for the It's Wicked Fun April 2007 scenario contest. It was a semi-finalist. Agent White had always said the phrase, "affix bayonets," was a sure sign you were having a bad day. Right now, though, he'd give his left leg for a bayonet. It was too torn up to keep him standing anyway, so he'd call it a bargain. No, all he had was a run-of-the-mill blunt barrel, jammed in a dead man's drooling maw, and his fingers were too slick with his own blood to pull a fresh magazine from his belt and bring that empty rifle back to life. White was learning a whole new meaning of a bad day. A sudden flash of motion and the dead man went limp, flopping to the floor the way a dead man should. Only its head remained, jaws clamped in rigor mortis around the barrel, and there, past that ugly mug, was as pretty a face as White had ever hoped to see. Dr. Vaughn, still clutching the bone saw she had used to fight her way out of the morgue where he'd found her. "Hello, Larry," she said. "It turns out the trick is severing the spinal cord. Even these things need their brains."
"Doc," he rasped, "am I glad to see you? I'm in a bad way. But don't worry, just help me reload and get to my feet and we can..."
"No, Larry, I don't think so. That leg is too far gone, and the way you're breathing, I guess you've got some broken ribs, too. Right now, you can't even call for help."
"What are you saying? You're not leaving me here for them?"
The way she laughed at that shot ice water through his veins, and he didn't like the way she was polishing that bone saw. "I do love you, Larry. Do you know that? You're a pretty, pretty man, and not too bright. Just the way I like 'em. No, I'm not going to leave you here for them. What a waste that would be." She knelt over him, brushing the gun from his now numb fingers. Her eyes shone in the gloom like a cat's, and she smiled so beautifully she could have been an angel. She kissed him softly and whispered, "I've been waiting for this since the moment I laid eyes on you," and began to cut him open. Background. When the dead walk, a small band of survivors takes refuge together. All too soon the living dead find their way in and begin to hunt them down. Quickly the survivors spring into action. They must defend their stronghold and pull their most vulnerable members to safety. But as tension rises and small teams move through the darkness, the horrible truth becomes clear. Hidden among the survivors are a number of psychopathic slashers just waiting for the chance to sate their bloodlust. Objective: each army aims to defeat all others. Army size: 3 or 4 players, 300 points. Time limit: 90 minutes. Map: Haunted House. The Scry map could be used as well, though the game would play somewhat differently with more open space. Setup: Team 1 is all Guardians. Team 2 is all Slashers. Team 3 and Team 4 are both all Zombies. Teams 1 and 2 begin play at one end of the map. Teams 3 and 4 begin play at the other. If using the Scry map, Teams 1 and 2 can begin in the same indoor starting area. In this case, the 2 players will take turns placing figures during setup. Special Scenario Rules. Do with them what you will. The subplots Zombie Horde, Deputization, and Slasher Madness do not count against the number of allowed plot twists in a player's crypt. Despite this special rule, no player may use more than one subplot. The dead hate the living. Zombies do not engage other zombies. They automatically break away from each other and can move past each other, but cannot move through opposing zombies. We're all in this together. All slashers begin play with a covert token on their cards. Guardians and covert slashers ignore each other for the purposes of movement, as if they were friendly monsters, and Guardians cannot attack covert slashers. No, that's zombie blood. A covert slasher will lose this covert token if it attacks a Guardian or attempts to slay a victim, unless A. the victim or target Guardian does not have a clear line of fire to any other victim or Guardian, and B. the slasher successfully slays the victim or kills the Guardian during this action. If the slaying attempt fails or the Guardian survives, the victim or target is considered to cry for help, betraying the attempt.